Thank you.
Gómìnà wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara, àwọn ni wọ́n kí wa yẹn.
And we recognize the presence of the Speaker, Kwara State House of Assembly. And we want to recognize the presence of the Chairman, Federal Character Commission.
Party elders, leaders, stakeholders, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome to this event. Over the past few weeks, such events have been taking place all over the Federation. The federal government, the President and the Federal Executive Council directed ministers to go to their states and make a presentation to the states to let them know what has happened at the federal level. So this morning we welcome our minister to deliver the message of the president and the program of the president to us in Kwara here. So Mr. Minister, you're welcome to Kwara, and we wish you happy deliberations in your delivery. Thank you.
Please thank everybody for their perseverance, for their understanding, for their patience, and for their patriotism. Because Nigerians, we have shown in the last couple of weeks our resolve to stay strong and united, irrespective of the challenges we might be facing. So the President wants me to assure you that he will continue to work night and day for the success of Nigeria, for your security and for your comfort. And he wants me to please let you know the context of what happened in the last few weeks and what has been the response of government. You will notice that there was this NSAS protest which began the second week of October. When they started this protest, they confronted government with 5 requests. The first was that they asked that all those who have been arrested during the protest must be released immediately. The second was that they asked that there must be compensation for all victims of the defunct SARS. Thirdly, they asked that all members of defunct SARS, before they are redeployed to other police formations, must undergo psychological evaluation. They also asked that there should be a panel of inquiry where all those who have complaints against the defunct SARS or any form of police brutality would be allowed to make their complaints, and they should be prosecuted and tried. And finally, in a very magnanimous spirit, they asked that the salaries of the police should be increased to allow them to do the job that they are supposed to do. Federal government listened to them, and on the 11th of October, the IGP announced the dissolution of all SARS in every police command and the FCT immediately on the 11th of October. On the 12th of October, Mr. President himself addressed the nation and said the disbanding of SARS is only the first step in the comprehensive effort of government to reform the police and other security agencies. In addition, the President said all members of the security or police that are found guilty of wrongful acts will be brought to justice. On the 13th of October, which was the next day, the Inspector General of Police invited all members of the defunct SARS to report at the police headquarters for debriefing and to prepare themselves salaries that the wages and salaries of police officers match their responsibilities. The very same day, which was on the 13th, the Presidential Reform Committee on the Police Reform accepted all the 5 demands of the NSAS protest. And 2 days later, the National Executive Council, presided over by the Vice President, and in which all governors are members, directed that every state should set up a panel of inquiry to take complaints about the brutality of the dissolved SARS or any police abuse, every state of the Federation and FCT. And they were given 6 months to complete that assignment. But the important thing about that directive is that the composition of the power of inquiry was made up of representatives of students, youth, civil society organizations, and is chaired by a retired High Court judge of repute. NEC also decided that every state government should set up a special security and human rights committee. Again, the composition is that that committee will be chaired by every governor in a state, and it will also comprise of members of the civil society organizations and youth. And the responsibility of that committee is to supervise the newly set up police tactical unit and other security organizations in the state, so that citizens' human rights will be protected. The same committee was also, the governor was also asked to set up a 3-man committee in each state, which would take complaints on an ongoing basis, like disbandment of the SARS, like asking them to come for, psychological evaluation. We have done that. We have set up, many states have set up panels of inquiry, but there are other things that would take a while to do. This is why we appeal to them to please give peace a chance and not allow hoodlums and those who have ulterior motives to hijack the campaign. But it is important also to let you know, Mr. President, let you know that Even before the NSAS protest, the federal government on its own had been addressing the concerns of youth, especially in the areas of job creation and poverty alleviation. And this is why the federal government set up the National Youth Fund. The National Youth Fund, it's a 75 billion fund which is meant to give opportunities to our younger elements to actualize their aspirations. This 75 billion naira fund, it's part of the 2.3 trillion naira economic sustainability plan to cushion the effect of COVID-19. The government also, in the wake of COVID-19, set up what it called the Micro, Medium and Small Enterprise Survivor Fund. This again is another 75 billion fund which is meant to address and cushion the effects of COVID-19 on small and medium enterprises. And it is in two forms. The first is in terms of payroll support. Payroll support is a support that the federal government is giving to small enterprises, that what Buhari administration is doing today, he's doing it with less than 60% of the revenue that was available to other governments. We all know what we suffer from COVID-19. We all know what the whole world is suffering from COVID-19. We are just trying to recover from COVID-19. Please assist government. Be calm, be patient. This government is dedicated to serving the people, and will continue to try our best to do so.
Unlikely to be university students who are tired and frustrated for staying at home and only use that medium to express part of their grievances. Two, sir, ASUU wondered why a sudden change in the body language and utterances of this present administration from comments they made in 2012, 2013, 2014 on our educational system. And we worried why Nigerian government decided to ignore starvation, hunger, and intimidation against their own citizens, the intellectuals, by refusing negotiation and stoppage of salaries of our members 5 months to 10 months. Number 3, sir, we hope that the Nigerian government will do the needful to make sure our university system become a veritable tool of training of our youth so that they can contribute their quota to the system. Thank you.